here is the camera of interest for this video. This is the Sony TRV65E, the power version. I've got one of the large Sony batteries on there, so that lasts bloody hours, especially on a camera like this. This is certainly the more collectible cameras, mainly because it's the original camera. I think it's definitely one of the first early ones anyway. Cameras to have Nightshot, which is before they dumbed it down. So ghost hunters or people that like to be a bit disturbing with their activities with the camera really go for this model, just because of that, say, the night vision that it has built in with this switch here fires a much stronger light out of it than later models, but also the fact that you're able to actually change. I can show you because this camera actually has a screen, unlike a lot of my other ones. That's another reason why this camera is good. It's got a flippy out screen, so you can do selfies if you want to, self-recording, but also, you know, just in general it's nice to have a screen. It's actually quite good quality for the time. This is a camera from 1998. Sony seem to have a serious amount of cameras available in 1998 because a lot of the collectible ones are from that time period or that actual year. But yeah, as I say, you can whack this into Nightshot even in daylight, and then you can actually press the exposure button. Don't know if you can see that clearly on there, but regardless, you can then adjust that, which you could not do with later units, because obviously they didn't want you to, once people had sort of found out what you could do with it, see-through plastics and clothing and the like, Sony had to dumb that down, and when you go into Nightshot on the later models, it's automatic and you have no control over exposure. But yeah, here's the inside bits. You can see that clearly on this camera. Try to give good lighting. But just overall, it's packed with features for its time. It's got steady shot. It's got a good proper stereo microphone on the front. None of this mono rubbish. The build quality is sort of bulky. I mean, the battery adds quite a bit of weight to it. To be fair, let's take that off. Don't need to have that on there at the moment. It's one of the ones that lifts up, which I much prefer. The ones, as I've said before, cameras where they load from the bottom, I tend to find those are the ones that seem to be more prone to getting the C32 errors and the like. But yeah, this one loads from the top. I can show you that just on the off chance you've never seen a camera eject a tape. So just here, wait for it to load up, make all the noises. And then it will literally lift up and then spring load your tape out. I'm just using a good old Maxell brand new high 8 tape. I didn't want to put an old tape in this machine and chance damaging it, because it's obviously a much more collectible unit, and I want to make it last as long as possible. But I saw some YouTuber who's got a lot of, well, he's an actual professional video editor, and he was doing a demo on a similar unit, and he's had it back from when it was new, and they're still going strong over 20 odd years later. So it really was a good time for Sony in their products. I actually worked for Sony back in the day with their TV department. I've also worked for Panasonic for much longer on the TV back in the day, and both companies, I love them. Obviously, though these were amazing and they did have a lot of products that were amazing in that time period, you only had to go to the earlier 90s, where unfortunately a lot of their cameras, the early 8mm, were horrendously unreliable in terms of they were going through a cheaper, I think it was a cheaper parts they were using for their diodes or something electrical. And if you look them up on eBay, you can see some of the early mono Sony 8mm all going for spares and repairs, and it's just they don't survive. They all leak this component. And yeah, but getting back to this particular model, as I say, it's got the steady shot. You've got a color viewfinder, color monitor, sorry, black and white viewfinder as you'd expect, CRT. You've got all your dedicated proper manual buttons that you lock. Don't tend to have on a lot of cameras these days. They're taking everything away, which is very disappointing. No touchscreen bollocks on here, physical buttons. You've got control there if you want to put this in manual focus. You can control it with a dial. It's not ideal, but at least it's manual focus for when you need it. But yeah, I've done a video that's just been uploaded showing the footage from it in 2019, but I thought I'd just do a little review of the camera actually out of the thing as well, out of the box. Not that it has a box, I'm just saying it automatically. You've also got your headphone socket here and proper mic inputs as well. So yeah, this was a really good unit, and still is a very good unit. It's obviously been surpassed with many new technologies since then, HD, 4K and the like, and I do have the HD cameras, as you know. The only 4K camera I own is actually the iPhone. Apart from that, I don't own one. Maybe one day. But yeah, these are very collectible, and I'm very, very happy to have this in my collection. It will not be going anywhere. If I sold it, I'd immediately get double the price, but it's not about that. It's just about the fact it's collectible, and I love this model, so it's, you know, glad it's all worked out okay. Right, I'll speak to you in the next video. Hope you have a brilliant, well, I hope you've had a brilliant Christmas, and Happy New Year to you. See you later.